Hey, you guys, how are you? First of all, I want to apologize for missing my upload last week, but last Friday was my birthday, so I just kind of kept to myself for the day. And I kind of treat my birthdays like New Year's, so I spent a bunch of time kind of meditating on what I want for this year to come and making some goals for myself, making vision boards for the year ahead. Um, I was just very mellow and quiet. So that's where I was last week. So this week's video, I've been noticing that there's a huge trend in the YouTube fitness community of videos about how to get an hourglass figure, and almost all of them are just a recommendation of some one size fits all workouts. Most of them focus on crunches and squats, which are good. But an hourglass figure, specifically when we're talking about having this shape, that little in the middle thing, some of that is determined by genetics, which isn't to say that you can't have an hourglass figure no matter what kind of genetic predisposition you have. What it is saying is that if you have a specific body shape to start with, you don't need to do the same exercises as someone with a different body shape. You need to do the right set of exercises for your body to create the balance and proportion that you're looking for. So we all know about apple shape and pear shape, right? An apple shaped body is when you have a predisposition towards storing fat in your upper body. You gain weight in your abdominals, in your breasts, in your arms, in your neck, and you have slender legs. A pear-shaped body is exactly the opposite. You're more slender on the top. You might have more slender arms, smaller breasts, smaller waist, and you gain weight in the hips, the lower abdomen, the thighs, and the butt. There's also triangle shapes. So you're very small on the top. You might have smaller shoulders, and you're wider through the hips, the thighs, and the butt. There's an inverted triangle shape. I think of that as like a swimmer's body shape, where you have a broad shoulder, broad upper back shape, maybe a smaller waist, and then narrow hips, narrow thighs, narrow through the butt. There's also what's called sometimes like a ruler body shape, where you're just more straight up and down. You don't have a lot of hip definition or a lot of waist definition. So if you are starting with a pear body shape, for instance, the work that you need to do is very different than someone who has an inverted triangle body shape to achieve an hourglass figure. So what I'm going to be talking to you about, and some of the exercises I'm going to show you based on body type, are how to proportionally build your body based on your type. So let's start with apple shape. If you have an apple-shaped body, you have a propensity toward gaining weight on the top half. Obviously, we're looking to shape the bottom half to match and build you more of a defined waist. So you'll do less work for broadening the back. You may still want to do work to define your back or to define your shoulders, depending on your degree of muscle tone and your degree of lean mass. But you will do less focus there than you will on building the muscles of your lower body and trying to define your waistline. So you're going to do more squats, more lunges, weighted squats and lunges. So we don't just want tone, we want to add mass. And the best way to do that is to do work with weights. So you're going to do weighted squats, weighted lunges, deadlifts, things that define the glutes. And as I've talked about in my other glute work videos, you want to make sure you're doing parallel and turned out work, and work to build up the size of your thighs. From there, you're also going to be doing oblique work, but we don't want side plank oblique work. We want twisting oblique work, which whittles your waistline a little bit more. And I'll be showing some exercises for that. You may still also want toned arms, but you may be more interested in definition in the back of the arms, which is a problem spot, I know, for me and for a lot of ladies, and in your biceps, and maybe a little bit more definition in your shoulders, but you might not be working as much on widening the back. The same is going to be true of an inverted triangle body shape. If you already have a broad back and a narrow waist, you're not going to be doing as much upper back work. You're going to be focusing more on adding mass to your ass. I had to, it rhymed. Now, if you have a pear body shape, that's exactly the opposite. You might be doing unweighted lower body work because you still want definition, but you're not necessarily looking to add mass. So you might do squats, lunges, deadlifts with lighter weight and higher repetition, or with no weights at all because you're looking to tone, define, and shape. Um, and then on the top, you're going to be doing lat work. You're going to be doing work to expand your upper back to create more of a V shape and a taper in the upper body. So this is one of the biggest things I'm seeing missing in some of the videos that I'm watching on YouTube right now, is neglecting talking about the fact that there are women out there who might need to build up their back and their shoulders to create more of an illusion of a waistline. You will also do twisting oblique work. You may also do regular crunches. You may be wanting to define and flatten your waistline, but you won't be doing as much lower body weighted focus, and you'll be adding more for the upper back. If you are a ruler shape, your focus is going to be a little bit on all of the above. You want to work on defining your waist, you want to work on expanding the upper back, and you want to work on the outer hips, especially the abductor muscles, and you want to work on your glutes. So you're giving more of the shape of the hip, curving out the waist a little bit, and trying to add some bulk to the top half to create that hourglass illusion. I have been asked a bunch about waist trainers. I have one. I have worn it. I wore it primarily during a period of time when I had a lower back injury, and I felt like having some support for my lower back and taking some pressure off of my lower back was helping me get through my day. But the truth about waist trainers is they're corsets. When you take them off, your waist is the same. What it may be very helpful for, especially if you have problems in feeling your abdominal muscles, like maybe you've had children, you've had a surgery, you're disconnected from the abdominals. Sometimes having something holding and pressing against you gives you a point of reference to feel muscle contraction. And that can be very helpful when you're beginning to do core work. But if you're doing crunches, roll downs, or twisting exercises, wearing a waist trainer is actually going to obstruct your range of motion, so you don't want that. So yeah, while they might look really cute under clothes or over your workout gear, the truth is they're holding your waist in, and when you take them off, they're not holding your waist in, and what you got is what you got. You're not wearing that thing to the beach, so keep it real. The other thing is you cannot spot reduce fat. So you want to lose fat in your abdominals, you have to lose fat everywhere. If you want to lose fat in your butt, you just have to lose fat, period. You have to lower your body fat percentage while you're increasing your body's lean mass. So that's why I say if you want to lose fat and not lose weight, your weight on the scale may not change that much. You're increasing your lean mass and decreasing your fat mass. The way that you do that is through diet. You cannot out-train a bad diet. There's no way around it. When I say diet, I don't mean some kind of insane calorie restricted, depressing situation. It's not an iceberg lettuce kind of lifestyle. I refer to your diet as anything that goes in your mouth throughout the day. So if what's going in your mouth throughout the day is sugar, fried, low in nutrients, high in calories, that's what your body is going to reflect. And there's no amount of time you can put in the gym that's going to change the fact that you're not eating to fuel the kind of figure that you're looking for. Eat whole foods, eat fresh foods, eat frequently, eat several times a day in correct portions. A correct portion for me is, can I still go for a walk? Can I still exercise? Can I still move around? You want to be satisfied and not so full that it's like after Thanksgiving you have to lay on the floor and unbutton your pants, right? So eating whole healthy foods, good quality protein sources, high nutrient dense foods. I try to avoid sugar. I try to avoid processed food. If you are going to eat grains and you are going to eat starches, make sure they're high quality, right? The difference in quality between a baked sweet potato and a French fry is a very big difference to your body. So making sure that the food that you're eating is healthy and nutritious and beautiful, that you enjoy looking at it, that you enjoy the taste of it. the more enjoyment that you get out of it, the less deprived you're going to feel. The less deprived you feel, the less likely you are to go out and get something really unhealthy as a treat or a reward. So in the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing you some different exercises, and I'll put some little, over here, I'll put some things up that indicate what exercises are right for which body type. I hope you enjoy this.